Hi, I'm Ella, and today I want to talk to you guys about something that I struggle with quite a lot. As an avid lover of musicals, I often find that I end up listening to the soundtrack for a musical way before I actually get to see the show live. And usually that means I've fallen in love with the musical way before I actually see it, and it's all great. But sometimes, well, actually quite often, I find that I don't quite get some of the things. So there's one show in particular that seems to have taken the world a bit by storm, and seeing as I live in England and I can't really afford transatlantic flights, let alone the cost of the tickets themselves, there is one such musical that I have listened to the soundtrack of about 1 billion times, and I still haven't seen the show. And you probably guessed it, it's Hamilton. I thought I would share with you guys my top 5 things that I realised later than I should have done about the musical because I just haven't seen it. And, listening to the soundtrack can only get you so far. The first things first, and this one I feel horribly guilty about, but it took me a lot longer than it should have done to realise that Eliza is too good for this world. Somehow I had got it into my head that Angelica and Hamilton had a thing going on, and then suddenly halfway through the song it switches, and suddenly Hamilton's marrying Eliza, and I was just like, what is going on? And I was so confused. And then I looked up the lyrics, and I realised, no wait, it's not Angelica singing that bit, that's Eliza. Because, for some reason I just didn't get it. And now I do, and I understand that Eliza did not steal Hamilton from Angelica, and Angelica kind of set them up, and it's kind of Angelica's fault, and I love Angelica, but also it's not Eliza's fault. And so the first few times I listened to it, I was like, I'm not really sure I like this Eliza, because, she nicked Hamilton from Angelica, and, Hamilton and Angelica were clearly meant to be, and now I'm just like, I'm so sorry. I'm really just so sorry. And, I have seen the error of my ways, and I do fully understand that Eliza is too precious for this world. She did nothing wrong and deserves nothing that happened to her. I'm sorry, Eliza. My second thing that I got confused on, again, a bit of a lyric confusion, who's singing what. It took me far too long to realise that Hamilton was Washington's right-hand man. I was again very confused, sat there thinking, because Burr sang and his right-hand man, that meant that Burr was Washington's right-hand man. And then I was really confused as to why he was being all bitter, and going on about Hamilton seated at the right hand of the father, and I'm like, but aren't you? I was very confused. And then, one day I must have seen a gift set or something on Tumblr, and the lights went on upstairs, and I just understood, and it all made so much more sense. So, again, so many lyric confusions. You can see where this is probably going. My third point is from Schuyler Sisters, and it took me the longest time to realise that Aaron Burr was saying, oh, you've disgust me, and not you disgust me, to Angelica. I was so confused. And then I looked up the lyrics and I realised he's saying, you've disgust me, and no. I'm sorry. Point 4, I feel I can be forgiven for a little bit. Because basically, it's the only moment in the musical that is not featured on the soundtrack. And that is the fact that Lawrence dies. I didn't understand it at all. I was like, okay, where did he go? What happened? Where? What? And then I saw a gift set on Tumblr of, Eliza reading out the letter, and I was like, I feel I can be forgiven for, not understanding where Lawrence went, just because it wasn't in the soundtrack. That's allowed, right? Yeah? And then my last point is at the very end. And again, more lyric confusion, and also something that I'm still not quite sure about right now. So if anyone has any help on this, that would be great. If you could clarify for me, I would love you forever. During the end, Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Tells You a Story, Eliza's talking about Angelica and saying, when I needed her most, she was right on time. And I am still confused as to whether that means that when Eliza needed Angelica most, she turned up to help, but I thought she was already there because I thought Angelica and Eliza were both with him when he died. But, so I don't know if that's what it is, or whether Eliza meant when she needed Angelica most, she died. And I'm still not entirely sure, haven't really found any clarification. If anyone knows, please tell me. Thanks. Yeah, I would love to know, I'm still really confused. And this is the bit where I need a massive him pouring of reassurance that I'm not the only person who does this and makes seemingly dumb mistakes, you know, just because you haven't seen the musical, and you know, the soundtracks can sometimes be a bit tricky to go off. So if you found that this kind of thing's happened to you, whether it's Hamilton or any other musical that you just haven't seen but love the soundtrack of, please just let me know, because I want to know that I'm not alone in this. So leave a comment below, let me know I'm not the only one who does this, and hope you enjoyed this. Till next time, bye!